Rob and Slim Show.
Hey, this is Dave Yates. How are you?
Good. How you doing, Dave?
Oh, just living the dream over here. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Where are you, dude?
I am in central Illinois, right outside of Peoria, Illinois.
How's the stand-up scene out there?
Well, the stand-up scene in Peoria it's good. We have one of the oldest comedy clubs in the area, the Jukebox Comedy Club. Peoria, Illinois, people will know as the birthplace of Richard Pryor and Sam Kinison.
Wow.
So,
That's a lot to live up to.
well, they were just born there. It's not like they came up there. So
I did watch one of your sets over there. It was hilarious, dude.
oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
No problem, man. And you also have a podcast, right?
Yeah, This Dude's Podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, thisdudespodcast.com. So, yeah, a lot of available formats.
Nice. What do you do on there? Do you do comedy or do you do interviews or both?
I do a little bit of everything. It's just kind of whatever the mood strikes me. I mean, my buddy that produces it, his name's MJ, kind of wrote me into it, and I just did it for the sake of everybody does one and content, and then it turned into something that I really enjoy doing. I interview comedians, local people. I had a girl who's a BBW webcam model come on the show a couple times and talk about sex toys and what have you. So really don't try to limit ourselves to what we're doing.
Pete likes that.
Yeah, man.
You tickled him.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, this one of the episodes I brought her on second time with her boyfriend. She brought a backpack full of sex toys and chains and
Oh my god,
big old whopping dildos and shit. It was a good time. It was.
What?
It's fucking hilarious.
How long have you been doing stand-up for?
A little over 5 years. It was 5 years on New Year's Eve. So
Nice.
yeah, man.
Do you get paid? Are you like a headliner or a featured act?
I'm a touring feature now. I've worked my way up through the ranks to now I work comedy clubs throughout the Midwest, some East Coast stuff like that. Just honing in my 25 to 30 solid. Probably shooting a headline maybe in the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, that's. I saw too. You're sober.
Yeah, man.
Did you get in trouble drinking?
April 23rd, 2012. Yeah, that's kind of how I started doing comedy. Whereas I was a terrible drunk, man. So I needed something to replace the alcohol. So I stopped drinking, but I started getting up on stage at like music open mics in town. Writing like 10 things on a piece of paper and then getting up on stage and trying to convince people I wasn't trying to change their religion and shit. So because it was an ample replacement, I mean, I was still doing other drugs, I was still smoking weed and eating acid, going to festivals and things like that. But I mean, it was sober enough for me at the time, and
taking it down a notch.
Yeah. So I mean, and I stayed off the stuff from 2011 till New Year's 2012. I'm like, well, fuck it. I can't be an alcoholic. I haven't drank in like a year. So I'm just gonna drink on New Year's Eve, or maybe I'm just gonna be a New Year's Eve drinker. So I picked out 6 fancy beers, that I thought was gonna last me all night, and by the end of the night, I was drinking straight vodka and doing lines of coke off of someone's bar in Aurora, Illinois. So after that, it was a slow decline. In the next 3 months, just kind of was like I never stopped and went back to the way I was living before. And then I decided that I needed to get like actually sober, I did the treatment thing, and I came out, and I, been involved in like recovery groups and shit ever since. So, I mean, for me, it was kind of like I started doing stand-up again when I got out of rehab. And that was probably the time that I was most afraid of getting on stage because like I had that idea in my head, like, what if I'm not funny anymore?
Yeah.
You know,
What
like,
if that was the only reason? Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like I used to get on stage like baked out of my skull. It's like, oh, Doug Benson does it, so fuck it, I should do it. You know?
Dude, I always wondered too, like Jim Jeffries. I mean, Jim Jeffries sobered up too, but he used to do sets just piss drunk, and he was hilarious. I don't know how he did that, man. Like he could still tell a joke, like still be hilarious on that.
I mean, you look at Dave Attell too, same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And then you look at the aftermath, you know, and that's what I had to realize, you know, it's just like I'm capable of being just as funny and funnier without, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't knock anybody else who does what they need to do, you know, their process, you know, that's what they need to do. But for me, like, I wouldn't go back even if I could go back now, you know, like I've got it down to where like my work ethic lines up with what I'm trying to do, you know, like if I was getting fucked up all the time, I couldn't be driving to these gigs. You know, things like that, because like, I mean, I was one of those all day, every day drinkers, you know, so like once I start, you know, it's just, there's no stopping it. So, I mean, as much as it'd be nice, you know, to like move to Oregon and, you know, indulge in legal pots, you know, what a world we live in, you know, it's just kind of like, comedy is my number one. You know, being sober is my number one. You know, I volunteer at treatment centers here, you know, and I speak at a lot of meetings and stuff like that. And like, if I went back, I wouldn't be able to help anybody anymore, you know? Yeah.
I did like your bit, though, on the Keurig. The Keurig coffee makers, how they suck, because it was just like a bump. You want a line when you do it.
Like no one I want to hang out with drinks one cup of coffee. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, like you know, it's the same shit. You know,
it's a
like
good comparison.
I have to drink a pot.
Same here, dude. I'm at a couple pots a day.
Yeah, man.
I kind of understand because I have a Keurig and I find myself using 2 or 3 cups just to make, you know, for an hour.
No, I just keep on using the same cup and I just keep on.
Even one of my cups at home is like half a pot. They're not. It's like 4 cups. It's like 4 regular cups.
Man. You need to take that thing to the fucking recycling center, get it out. You need to invest in a French press, grind your own beans, and get with the times, man. That's the best cup of coffee you'll ever have.
Oh, yeah, French press is the bomb.
I like a percolator, too. Awesome. Percolators make a nice fucking cup of coffee.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's so many better ways to do coffee. Like, I would rather just take my Black & Decker coffee machine over the Keurig any day. Like, I was reading an article, too, like, the guy who invented the K-Cup and the Keurig, he didn't understand the scourge he was putting on the world. Like, those cups aren't, you know, I'm not hippy-dippy in the way where it's like we all shit on the environment, you know, equally. But, like, the guy who invented it was like, yeah, this thing is terrible. Like, its function is terrible. And he fucking invented it.
They're so expensive, the machines and the coffee, even the little pods, even if you get the generic
I just
ones.
got that little filter thing. I put my own coffee
regular
into
grinds.
Yeah.
That's what my brother-in-law does.
Yeah.
But still, like, you're only getting a cup at a time, though.
I did make fun of my intern who bought the Keurig. I made fun of him when he bought it because he did buy the attachment where you can put your own coffee in it. I'm like, why didn't you just get a regular coffee maker then? Right. If you're not even going to use it for K-Cups.
Well, he had that little one that just fucking broke down.
Yeah, I did have another one that broke. But.
That one was okay, but it was like you just filled it up per cup, but it still made like a pot's worth of coffee.
Yep.
Well, and the thing is, it's just like, that motherfucker's not cleaning that sucker out. You know, he's got a science project growing in that Keurig. You know, like, bust that sucker open, man, and there's going to be some fucking fuzz in there, guaranteed.
Right?
Oh, my parents had a whole fucking ant colony crawling out of there.
Yeah, and they're like, this is fine, it's just convenient. I'll drink a couple of ants, you know, whatever. Like, it's fucking gross, man.
There's a fire ants in this one, this blend. Oh shit! You had some really good stuff in your set too, dude. You had some nice Jared Fogle jokes. I love the joke about when you were driving and you saw the minivan in front of you with like Despicable Me on, and you were like, "I'm staring into their window. There's like 3 toddlers watching Despicable Me."
I hate those.
Yeah, like I mean, I've been doing that opener probably for like 3 or 4 months now. Like, I mean, it's just an idea I had on my way to the open mic at the comedy club, and I saw it, and like, and everybody's doing it. Like,
I've been driving and seen that.
Yeah, and I'm not good. I'm not the best at like the defamation up front. Like some people do the defamation of character. Like, look how fat I am, look how weird I look, and shit like that. So like, I needed to find something quick up front to kind of just establish that whole like, this is me letting you know that I know, about me. So,
I never thought of it that way. That's a cool. That's a cool take on it.
That's, I mean, it's all very systematic, man. I mean, that's for me, like, it's that fourth wall, like we get up time and time again, and the goal is to make it seem like this just came out of our back pocket,
Yeah. Do you have another job, or do you strictly do stand-up?
No, I still have a day job like a lot of traveling comics. I work for a company that makes chemicals out of soybeans that strip paint and clean things, and they're all biodegradable and safe. I mean, we live in the middle of Illinois, and it's nothing but fucking soybeans. So I do sales. I do sales for them during the day, and then I get off at 5, and I just run mics, and then they pay for my travel too. Like I leave tomorrow morning for Long Beach to do a trade show for them. And I mean, they've been paying me for the past 3 years to try my jokes out in other markets.
Yeah, exactly. That's cool. Nice.
Yeah, so like, I mean, I'm going to Long Beach, and I'll either try to get my way onto a showcase, or I'll just hit the open mic scene, and just grind out like everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
Like tomorrow night, I'm excited. I'm gonna drive up to L.A. Dana Carvey's performing on the Comedians You Should Know showcase. Have you heard about those guys?
I think one of our friends, Mark Hershon, mentioned that.
Maybe.
Yeah, Comedians You Should Know is kind of like a group of comics that started in Chicago, and we're booking these really tight, awesome showcases to try to like just promote people that weren't getting much like play, or club work and things like that, and it's just grown into something real big. And Joe Kilgallen, the guy that founded it with some other people, they're in LA now trying to do the same thing in LA. So you look at the lineup is fucking stacked, like it's got Dana Carvey on it, it's got Joe Kilgallen, he's really funny, Ryan Dalton, who's Ohio comic, man, he's funny as shit, and the list goes on. These are all like knockout comics, and they're doing these showcases. And plus, it's like, man, growing up, Dana Carvey's special on HBO, man, I mean, I memorized that special verbatim. So to be able to catch him,
I was surprised he's still performing, because that's what Mark told us that he still does, because I think he wrote for him for a while.
Yeah. And that's a lot of the thing is you're noticing a lot of those old comics are coming back to comedy,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I just saw Chappelle in Chicago. I grind the road a lot, and I'm always getting up on stage, but sometimes you got to go to class, sometimes you got to invest in your own career by watching the people that have been doing it 20 plus years just go and wreck shit to make you realize like, fuck, I need to work harder,
Yeah. How often do you come up with new material?
I mean, it's an all day, every day thing, man. Like I try to keep as many avenues for me to jot down ideas as possible. I got my notebook in my car and the driver's side pouch. I got notes on my phone. I audio record most of my sets, starting to do videos now. And like, it's kind of like the whole Mitch Hedberg thing. He did an interview once. He's got that joke about like how, hopefully he'll be in this hotel room and he'll think of something funny. And then if the pen's too far away, he's got to convince himself that what he thought of wasn't funny. And that's, I mean, I do that shit. And it's like, a lot of people just think that, I got to sit down and write for this many hours a day or whatever. But I mean, the laziness comes in our own minds where it's like, we'll have a funny idea and then we'll just convince ourselves, it's not worth writing down,
I scramble if I'm like at work, to find a piece of paper and a pen, just jot it down, or I'll forget it, man. I forget it.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's just like, I mean, I have a tendency to be lazy with my ideas, like that. I don't know if I did that joke on the video, the bouquet joke,
Yeah.
Which is it's the cleanest bukkake joke ever.
A friend of his liked horror, and he wanted to. It was a birthday, and so he just Googled boo cake. He wanted,
and Google's like, did you mean bouquet? And it didn't spell it the same way as I did. And I clicked on it, and I didn't find a lot of cake, but I found a whole lot of icing. Yeah, like I did that joke at Zany's in Rosemont last night, showcasing for work through Zany's, and she said, keep it clean. She wanted to showcase a 6-minute clean set, and I did that joke on the clean set, and the booker was like, that joke was great. That is the cleanest fucking bukkake joke ever.
That's amazing.
Our intern wants to make a bukkake video where we we throw stuff at him like mayonnaise. He likes mayonnaise.
Just cake.
He wants us to just throw spoonfuls of mayonnaise at him.
That just sounds disgusting.
No, it's got to be icing, man. It's got to be fucking icing.
Like that toaster strudel icing, like
cinnamon.
Yeah, you know exactly. Yeah, everybody who's ever strudeled a toaster strudel has thought, like, man, this is me jizzing on my breakfast.
This is gonna make everybody gay, but it tastes so good.
I love the Louis C.K. thing about the Cinnabon.
Yeah, oh yeah,
like it's just you're eating jizz.
Same with the Cadbury eggs. It was just that delicious jizz inside.
That's all life is. It's just different forms of delicious jizz.
Even soft soap, you're just squirting jizz in your hand and then licking it.
Wait, you don't like soft soap.
It smells like watermelon.
Yeah, good thing the FCC doesn't regulate this.
Right, yeah. That's why sometimes people ask if this is a clean show. I'm like, no, you say whatever you want, dude.
Yeah, I watched some episodes, and I'm like, okay, I know exactly where I'm going with this.
Oh, shit, dude. What?
We actually had it. Just what you said made me think of it. We had a mob guy on last week who I noticed did not curse.
Really?
Like whenever he was talking about this like lawyer who was a scumbag, and he kept calling him like something else, but it wasn't a curse word. It was just like what did he call? I don't even remember what it was.
He called the one guy a lizard. That shit was
a
hilarious.
lizard. Yeah, he called
that
the one guy a
on
lizard.
a Fox interview. That was great. But yeah, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I noticed it. I was going to say something. I didn't know if that's just how he talks or if he didn't know if it was like a clean show.
But I've had some guests tell me afterwards, like, I didn't know. I wish I could have cursed. Like, you should have just did it, dude. Should have tried for it.
Well, and a lot of those old dogs, man. I mean, it's just like for whatever the way they were raised and stuff like that. With like Catholicism, you can't swear this, that, and the other thing. So you just find ways around it.
That's what I was thinking. Even my dad, he don't curse. Once in a while. Now that I've gotten older, he'll let one go.
Yeah.
But no, you never did that.
Yeah, that's a real thing, man. But if you listen to a lot of the old legend comics, they were some of the dirtiest old fuckers ever, but they weren't clean. And the thing is for me, I don't think working clean versus not working clean, it's whatever, but it's, I want to do this for a living, man. And if a club wants me to do 25 to 30 minutes, that's PG-13. This is I want to do this for a living, so I'm going to do this and put in my time so that come time 10 years down the road where I can be a headliner, I can say whatever the fuck I want to say.
Yeah. Do you have separate sets written that are just cleaner?
Yeah, it's either that or you know what you can do and you know what you can't do. You know. And I don't sign up for the whole oh, it's my art, it's my art, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's my fucking art, but I want to do this for a living.
Yeah, you want to get your name out there, exactly.
You have to make compromises, and that's a big thing. If you can't make compromises, you're never gonna get anywhere. Stay in the alt scene. Go fuck yourself.
Yup.
Some people wear that as a badge of pride. It's just no, you're not willing to compromise. You're not willing to fucking develop.
Exactly.
I don't condone PC culture as it is. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, it's if you want this bad enough, it don't fucking matter. It don't matter. You're gonna work the way you're supposed to work to get the work.
There's some comics too, like Brian Regan. He's clean, and he's hilarious, man. Like, he's really funny.
You can do it. You can do it. Like, I don't buy into the whole, like, you'll hear the comedy audience fan, like the old bros, it's like, it's easy to be dirty. Yeah,
or you sound stupid, like, if you curse a lot.
Yeah,
We've heard that, too.
Yeah, like, I can be dirty in passing or whatever, or I can be clean. It's just, be a versatile performer.
Yeah.
Like, my goal is to be able to make every type of person, no matter where they come from, laugh. And, I have bad sets, but they're, you just make decisions. You make snap decisions, and sometimes throughout a set, like, you just make the wrong decisions.
Yeah.
And you learn from it, and you make better decisions when you're in a similar environment. Like, I can do a Duck Dynasty joke in Peoria that falls flat, and then I can do a Duck Dynasty joke in Chicago, the same fucking joke, and it crushes. Because a lot of these people think they are on the fucking show, like, running around with the camos and the fucking duck call shits, like. So, I mean,
I got them right here.
We got a couple of those around.
Yeah, I use them on the show.
But, I mean, it just...
Sometimes you have a good news story you need those with.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, people are going to do what they're going to do. Like, for me, it's none of my business what anybody else is doing. It's important what I'm doing. And I was brought up through the ranks, of clubs, and was fortunate enough to work with features that are now headliners and headliners that are now, bigger. And, like, they took the time to tell me, just get up on stage as many times as possible. Like, half this business is working harder than the next guy.
Yeah, man.
I mean, because I talk to comics, like, I'm always happy to bestow what was given to me freely, but I can't force someone to have this fire to do this. Like, I can't inject this into you that makes you as crazy as I am to drive 2 hours to showcase for 6 minutes. Like, I do that without blinking an eye.
Yeah.
Because the guy that is not willing to do that, it's not getting the work. One of my favorite comics working right now, his name's Ryan Singer. And if you don't know Ryan Singer, check him out. Like, he is a fucking phenomenal performer. He's a great writer. He's out there. But he said, equate every hour of driving to a minute of stage time. I drive for an hour, that's a minute. I drive for 6 hours, 6 minutes. That you have to think about it like that, because if you don't, someone else will.
Yeah. Yup. That's it, man. I like too your one joke about hungry or thirsty guys on Facebook.
Oh, that's new, man. That's super new, man.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
That's
chicks like posting a status or something or a picture, and every dude's like, "Oh, you look good.
I see that all the time.
Hang out?" Like,
and
then you went into the
Holy
fact
shit.
that somebody's like, "How'd you meet your wife?" And you were like, "Well, her aunt died or something."
yeah. She needs some prayers, man. I gave her some prayers. With this hard dick.
Yeah. It's like, how do you think that's gonna work, dude?
Thirsty guys.
Yeah.
all the time.
Well, I mean, I'm working on a part 2 to that too. I mean, there's thirsty chicks on Facebook too.
Yeah.
It's just they're not as dumb about it. Like, they're just not fucking dumb. Like, I don't know what goes through someone's mind. It's like, oh, I'm going to shoot this dick pic off into her inbox on Facebook. It's gonna be the best.
Shit, Dave, we actually have to wrap this up, dude. Where can everybody find
No worries,
you?
man. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Yates Comedy, Yates Comedy. You can find me on Facebook, Dave Yates. You can catch me next couple shows I'll be doing. I'll be out in L.A. For 6 days coming up, and then back to Chicago area. I'm a pretty accessible dude, man, so hit me up anytime.
Awesome, man.
Awesome.
Thank you for
Thank
talking to us.
Hey, no worries. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You too.
We're going.
All right, guys, we're going to break. We'll be back.